Hi, everyone. This is Flash Talk. I'm Michael Fosbeck, and this is Dylan Foley. We're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 5, The Darkness and the Light. So, broad overview, Harrison Wells from Earth 2.
Harrison Wells, Earth 2. Yeah, this is so far a fun character. I like him a lot.
You were mentioning off camera that you think he's funny.
I think he's pretty funny. This character, it's a lot of dry humor, so it's fun to see these jokes that we didn't get to see from the normal Earth 1 Harrison Wells.
I don't find him that funny, though.
No, you think
he just, he seems kind of militaristic. Like, he seems like, do this now or die.
Well, yeah, it's he has a job to do, and that's we'll find out later at the end that Zoom is holding his daughter captive.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like so far throughout Season 2, it's just been Zoom giving people motivations to
do his bidding.
Go kill Barry, basically. Yep. And so it brings a lot more meaning to when Wells says, Zoom can make you do things you didn't think you could do.
Exactly.
He can give you that motivation. He's probably talking about his own daughter.
Absolutely. That's his relation to Zoom. He created him, we realize. Mm-hmm. He created all the Earth 2 metas, which we find out with his intervention with Jay, or encounter with Jay, but Zoom having his daughter captive is the reason he's here doing what he has to do. Mm-hmm. So that's why he's so straight to the point. Mm-hmm. And
I don't think he cares about anyone but his daughter.
Exactly.
Right now.
That's what he's here to do.
Barry, oddly, seems to be the most trusting out of the whole group
is interesting, right?
Right, because, you'd figure he's the one to be least trusting of him because
of the whole Harrison Wells, Eobard Thawne, killing his mother, being that whole reason for that. Do you trust him? How do you feel about him so far?
I don't trust him.
No?
Because he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't seem to care about anyone. So he just seems like, we can get to this down the road, but the encounter with Cisco, he doesn't care. I mean, and Jay and all of them really, like, he just doesn't care. He has his goals and he knows what he has to do to get to them.
So he's straightforward, which is a cool Harrison Wells to see, especially since this is an actual Harrison Wells and not Eobard pretending to be Harrison Wells.
Exactly. Which is something that they don't address.
Yeah, they keep referring to him as the same person.
Right,
almost.
They keep comparing him to the Wells that they knew, which really wasn't Wells.
Yeah,
it was Eobard. We'll see if they ever really reference that again.
Exactly. Hopefully they will address that at some point in
time. And so the other big thing was that we finally got lines spoken from the girl that's going to be playing Hawkgirl.
Oh, yep, that's right. So we have our new interpretation of Hawkgirl, Kendra Saunders.
We see her first at the
CC Jitters.
CC Jitters at the coffee shop.
Working as a barista. So Cisco
tries to ask her out.
He's trying to show Barry up, too.
Right, he's trying to show him, how you ask someone
very
out.
Cocky. It's fun. So he walks up.
Yeah, he's very nervous, a lot more nervous than he thought he was, and he gets shut down.
That was a fun scene. First of all, we get to see Hawkgirl, and this is the first we really get to see, hopefully, at some point. Well, he eventually, a second time, asks her out, and she says yes.
Yeah, towards the end of the episode.
Where she kind of infers, like, hey, I'm just new, and I'm just kind of shy. Ask me out again.
Cisco caught her off guard, and
So this, I'm assuming, will be our lead into her becoming a part of Team Flash. Mm-hmm. She goes on a date with Cisco. Either she finds out this or that, or he finds out that she's a meta. Mm-hmm. That's how she gets incorporated.
The thing is, though, she just moved, so she's not really.
There could be a reason she moved, though.
Right, but I don't think she was there for the particle accelerator.
Well, and I don't necessarily think she'll be a meta either, but she will, because they have said that she'll have the history with Hawkman where they've been reincarnated time and time again, and that they have to keep finding each other. He knows about it. Oh. She doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any significance to the jewelry she had, the necklaces?
Oh, I think that could have been maybe some nth metal necklace.
Okay.
The nth, relative to the... That's more or less Thanagar, but I don't know if they're going to go with that alien route, obviously.
Okay. Didn't you say that they were going to be doing like the...
Egyptian...
The rebirth?
Yep. So that's...
So they're basically going to be reincarnated gods.
Yep, which will be cool.
But both of those characters, Hawkman and Hawkgirl, are going to be main characters on Legends of Tomorrow.
Which will be sweet. Mm-hmm. I love Hawkman and I love Hawkgirl, so that'll be a lot of fun to see them.
So next up, we have Dr. Light, which was the villain for this week.
Yep, so a brand new interpretation, which is okay because I guess Earth 2, the revelation, it being Linda Park from Earth 2. So that's kind of a shock.
Linda Park being, at least on Earth 1, ex-girlfriend of Barry.
Yep, and well, in the comics, she's actually a girlfriend of Wally West's,
Okay.
which is also cool to see her in this interpretation. I'm assuming maybe if she survives, she'll end up maybe being Wally's girlfriend down the road. But
right.
yeah, we have Linda Park, Earth 2, Dr. Light, trying to kill Earth 1, Linda Park, so she can take her place.
Right.
Because Zoom is, doing what he does to everyone who he wants to do his bidding.
Linda and Iris's editor gets caught in the
Larkin, yep. So Larkin gets killed in the crossfire.
By Dr. Light, yeah. Which I wasn't kind of expecting. And it was cool to see that she was, as we heard from Jay said, she's a thief. She's not a murderer. To which Wells says
you can talk to her.
Yeah, to which Wells says, like,
Zoom can make you do things that you will never think you could do.
Right,
in this case, Dr. Light killing someone.
She killed Larkin, like, you see the horror on her face.
Yeah,
like,
she regrets it
I didn't mean
immediately.
to do that.
Like, she doesn't want to kill, but she did come to kill one person, but, he got in the way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So then we have Jay and Wells, their disagreement. They're obviously not on good terms.
That's right. So we get to see a lot of tension between the two. So apparently on Earth 2, I'm assuming it's almost like he has this sort of Lex Luthor type deal where he's this big, techie, rich guy who may or may not be behind this dark thing. And then we have the Flash, who's this bright hero and the symbol of hope for the city, interrogating him and saying, hey, I know you were the reason for this, or the cause for this, the metahumans. Like, why don't you own up to it? Why don't you fix it?
Right.
And Wells obviously denies being any part of it, which we find out later. Obviously, he was the
reason. Cause.
Yep.
And while Jay wants him to own up to that, Wells turns it on him and says, like, why don't you use your speed and stop Zoom?
Exactly. Well, I mean, he has a point, I guess, in a sense, but yeah, he says, do your job and stop Zoom.
Yeah, I think Wells is just deflecting, though.
Exactly, which is because he has that secret, which we'll hopefully find out soon.
The speed mirage, when Barry, in one of his fights with Dr. Light.
That was really cool to see because we only got to see it one other time, season 1, with Harrison Wells or Eobard Thawne Reverse Flash, where he used it to trick them into thinking that he wasn't the man.
Right, yeah, because he was moving so fast, I guess, that they saw Reverse Flash, but also Harrison Wells in the same room.
So you're tricked into thinking
that he's not him. Barry's learning a lot of new techniques. Like, we had him throw lightning earlier this season.
Which was fun because he learned that from Jay.
Speed Mirage.
The Whirlwind, which was last season.
Traveling through time.
Time travel's huge.
Which was kind of funny. There was that scene when they were standing in line at CC Jitters, and
Patty walks up behind them,
and she's eavesdropping on Cisco and Barry, and they're talking about time travel. She's like, "Oh, is time travel possible?"
Yeah, there's a meta that can time travel.
He's like, "No, that's crazy."
She's like, "Oh, that'd be really cool, though."
Two more things to talk about. Vibe, Cisco.
Okay, so we kind of get to see him use more of his powers. And then he finally gets a name. Barry gives him the name, which is kind of cool. And then I assume that he'll end up being an actual part of the team in the field. Do you remember the Pied Piper from season 1?
I do.
With his vibration.
Yeah.
I think Cisco's going to take that in some way and use that as his weapon in the field. And then he'll have his ability to see through the vibrations of the universe or the multiverse. So
is Caitlin just going to be alone in Team Star Labs?
Well, that brings us to the point where there was a couple things. Wells uses his meta detector on her, and it says she's not a meta.
Right.
And then she also says something which I picked up on. I don't think any of us would become evil if we got powers, which is funny because in the comics...
Any of us in this room, meaning Team Flash.
Yeah, which she becomes Killer Frost. But that leads us to another point. Is Earth 1 Caitlin going to be Killer Frost, or do we get to see another interpretation of her sent over by Zoom, Earth 2?
I really think that when he held the watch up to her and it said she wasn't a meta, that was sort of confirmation that...
You think so?
That Killer Frost is going to be coming from Earth 2.
So if that's a confirmation that she is from Earth 2, then is she being sent over from Zoom? We get to see maybe a Firestorm Ronnie versus a Caitlin Snow or the Killer Frost.
Do you think we'll get an Earth 2 Ronnie?
Well, that would be interesting.
Because I know that that actor isn't done.
That's true. So does he come back as the original Firestorm, or do we get an Earth 2 version, and what could that possibly be?
Oh god, that's gonna be so interesting.
It would be crazy.
I can't wait for that. They've already like teased pictures of what Danielle Panabaker looks
Yep,
like.
and she looks amazing as Killer Frost. So
exactly.
that'll be a lot of fun.
And so for next week we get Zoom. They're already gonna be
Zoom's
confronting Zoom in episode 6.
Coming in quick.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. He is a very dark villain right out the gate, so he's really not what we saw from Harrison necessarily or Eobard, where he is after Barry and he's willing to send all of these metas from Earth 2 at him to kill him because he wants to absorb all that speed and take that for himself.
We got that tease at the end where it's revealed that he's has Wells' daughter in captivity, and just seeing him, that mask, he just looks so sinister.
Yeah, it's like a Flash and suit all mixed in one. I want to see who it is underneath.
Obviously, you have a couple theories about who it might
so
be.
I'm thinking it's either Earth 2 Barry Allen, Earth 2 Henry Allen, his father, or Earth 2 Eddie Thawne.
I don't think it's going to be Henry Allen.
You don't think it's Henry Allen?
I think that's
Well, do you remember the scene we get of Barry in prison? Maybe him and his father switch roles kind of in a way, or who knows?
Oh.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
It could be very interesting.
Yeah, because at the end of season 1, we have that little glimpse of Barry's in jail. Like, you can see him in his
suit, talking on the phone. Who's he talking to?
Probably his dad.
Who could be Zoom.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
All right, so thank you guys for watching this episode of Flash Talk. If you haven't seen last week's episode about Fury of Firestorm, I'll put a link to that in the bottom. Go watch that one. Thanks again, and this has been Michael and Dylan. Thank you.
Please subscribe.